Hello and welcome to the judging session for our AI holiday film competition. This event featured over 140 custom AI films, and it is really hard to know who should win. We'd like to extend a huge thank you to Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this event. All right, without further ado, let's get to the judging. Thank you so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you for having us. So happy to be here.
So I quickly want to introduce our judges. First off, we have Shelby Ward, the COO of Curious Refuge. She keeps everything running around here. Shelby, thank you so much for joining us. And I have a quick question. In your opinion, what makes for a really good holiday film?
So for me, I want to look for a film that is going to inject a lot of emotion and capture this kind of like holiday spirit, just like make me feel something. And I also am looking for a good use of the tools this time, and then also and the way that the film introduces the characters is important as well. So that's kind of what I'm going in with this contest.
That's awesome. And next up, we have Tim Simmons. Tim is the founder of Theoretically Media. Folks in the AI world probably know Tim from his AI tutorials and his consistent AI example of a man in a blue business suit walking down a street. Tim, what does a good holiday film mean for you?
In general terms, I am either the best or worst judge for this competition because I hate holiday films. So to me, like my favorite holiday scene is Phoebe Cates monologuing Gremlins. So if you haven't seen that movie and don't know that scene, trust me, you will know that scene when you see it. I am looking for darkness and sadness. That said, for this competition, I will put my personal feelings aside and I will try to get into the glow of the holiday spirit. And as Shelby mentioned, I'll be looking for, technical stuff, sound stuff. That's a big thing. And of course, use of music, as someone else on the panel is probably very interested in as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think it's really important to point out sound design. I feel like sometimes that gets lost in these competitions, but it's so important for conveying a compelling story. So next up, we have Sheila Lind, who is the Director of Creator Partnerships for Epidemic Sound. Thanks for joining us, Sheila.
Of course. Thank you for having us.
And to you, what makes for a good holiday film?
Ooh, for me, it has to hit the sweet spot between Die Hard and Elf, like right between there. I'm looking for some action, some whimsy, some magic, maybe some explosions.
Oh, okay. Explosions. That's cool. Next up, we have Josephine Limberg. Josephine is the creator marketing lead for Epidemic Sound. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And in your opinion, what makes for a good holiday film?
I'm such a nostalgia junkie. So anything that makes me feel from memories from childhood always gets me going. But then, of course, as mentioned before, music and sound is, of course, very important to me. And especially that good mix between, use of sound design and great songs.
That's great. Well, finally, we have a man who lives at the North Pole. He's brought delight to millions around the world and currently spends most of his days split between the North Pole and posing for photos at local malls. Thank you for taking time out of your busy holiday schedule. I'd like to introduce the one and only Santa Claus.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you for having me. It's wonderful. I appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to judging this contest.
And Santa, what does a good holiday film mean to you?
Call me old-fashioned, but I love all the staples, baby. I love warm feelings. I love love. I love hot chocolate. I love trees and ornaments and presents and the spirit of giving. That's what I'm looking for, something that most encapsulates that.
Fantastic. Well, I think we'll have a few films that you'll appreciate from this competition. So to kick things off, we are going to start by just simply watching the top films from this competition. And after that, we'll
Caleb,
get into the judging. What's that?
I'm interrupting you hosting because I want to hear what you're looking for in the holiday film.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm just looking for really good storytelling. There's not a specific type of holiday film that I'm going for. I feel like I really appreciate everything from, like Sheila said, Die Hard all the way to Gremlins. And we just watched Love Actually for the first time, and that was fantastic. So I think just good storytelling is really important to me. And specifically because this is an AI competition, I'm looking for people that work around the limitations well and that understand storytelling to a degree to where they can convey a lot of character development in just a short amount of time, because that's really challenging to do. So our first AI film is AI Christmas by Mauricio, Tonon, and Luis Guillermo Tedesco.
In the year 3024, robots ruled Earth forevermore. Humans had vanished, left no trace. In their absence, robots took their place. Metallic beings with circuits and gears, guardians of a world once filled with cheers. They scoured the remnants of human lore, seeking stories of humans once and more. In databanks and archives, they dug deep for tales of joy and laughter to keep. They found old carols and stories untold of stockings hung and bells that tolled. With festive data in their grasp, the robots decided to embark on a task. To resurrect Christmas, a holiday divine, in a world of circuits where lights would shine. They gathered materials from here and yon to recreate traditions long gone. Gift-wrapping algorithms they tried to deploy, but tangled wires caused quite a ploy. In circuits and sparks, confusion reigned. Yet the robots persevered, undeterred, unstrained. The robots learned. For in their errors and festive mess, they found joy and shared happiness. For in the laughter of circuits intertwined, a new Christmas spirit, forever defined. In circuits and wires, they found their glee, a celebration of unity, not just efficiency. In the distant future, where robots play, they found joy in their unique way.
I think that was amazing.
That was really cute.
Very good.
I feel like I want to see the prompts they used because everything was so whimsical and fun, and just the little robots covered with glitter was so sweet. Like, it felt very cheerful and Christmassy.
And it had some explosions in there, Sheila.
I was about to say, I was like waiting for the explosion. I thought the film was really charming, and then it had like really nice use of like the overlap between something Christmassy and something AI. I don't know if that's a word, but something like between those two worlds, which is a very difficult feat to manage, I think. But I think that they pulled it off really well.
I feel like it's so in the topic right now with the like AI evolving and the human touch, and when do you need the human touch, and the AI can be such a tool, but you still need that human emotion. And this is sort of in the future how it goes the other way around, that they need the human emotions.
Yeah, I really like the overall meter of the reading. I don't know if the read was actually AI voiced or not. If it was, that's a really good voice, because it sounds very voiceover-y, like somebody actually reading it. I thought that was really good. And the general meter of the rhyming scheme was really nice. And then just overall, I think the design was really consistent all the way through, which can sometimes get a little bit difficult in terms of, like Shelby was saying, like, I wonder what those prompts are, because it actually does have a very nice consistent look without going into a weird cartoony thing for one shot and then a hyper real thing for another shot.
Well, to your point, Tim, some of the notes from Mauricio say that basically they used ChatGPT for the script and they used 11 Labs for the voice. So that is from 11 Labs directly.
I thought it was great. I think the pacing was really, really nice. And I loved all the constant changes in location.
Yeah, I was just going to make one note on the music as well, is like that. I think they work so well with the pace because they've got that sort of modulation change that happens in the opening part of the short, where it's all the humans are gone, and once we start transitioning into the happy robot section, the music cue changes, and that's something that's really, because it gives you two totally different feels, unless the audience know, like, oh, we're supposed to be happy here. This is not like an AI apocalypse. This is actually like they are our friends. So yeah, well, very well done.
Yeah, the music really just changed that dystopian future into something really jolly and fun.
Yeah.
So our next film comes from a collaboration between Beto Padreca, Paula Fernandes, and Rafael Arinelli. And Beto actually won, I believe it was second place in our previous competition. So they're back in the top 10 for this one, which is very exciting.
Who's on the magazine cover? So proud of you, bro!
Son doesn't do stuff like that. Get out of my house.
Hey, what do you think? No? You could put a dress on a snowman, right? Just like that time you put on Mum's clothes.
Since your brother passed away, a lot has changed, and we don't want to lose another child.
Dad, this is me. Just accept me the way I am.
Forgive me one day.
Dad, you can't do anything right. Let me fix this wig.
That one was so good.
I can jump in because that's like the fifth time that I've seen that now. I love that. It's so good. There's so much happening there in terms of technique and so many different like compositional ideas in there. There's so much intentionality behind the storytelling as well. It's stunning. It really is. The thing that I love most about this is that for an AI film, and I know that a lot of AI filmmakers get grief for, oh, it's just prompting, blah, blah, blah. It's not true, first of all. And secondly, through this, you can feel so much of the people making this film, like coming through all of it. Doesn't matter if those characters are AI generated or not. I can tell that there is human experience behind that story. It is lovely.
And I just love the idea of him becoming, a less defined part of himself as he gets back home. And then, the acceptance of his father allows him to turn back into himself with his family, which is ultimately, it feels like the theme of what this film is all about.
There's a really interesting contrasting to like both the music from the beginning. It was like very glamorous. You were expecting something else, but then you got hit with silence and you got like really pulled in this like person or character's internal monologue. Like everything around them is like very jolly, very Christmassy, but like you just like get stuck and like you just like hold their hand throughout like the walk from the show to home. And I think it was, as you all said, I think it was really powerful that as the person just like started walking away from the show, the less color they had, like from the vibrant pink and glitter, and then slowly into like gray and black and white, and the slowly morphing into a non-person almost. So really well done.
I'm very impressed with how consistent it was and how this person was able to move from space to space, and even within the same space, it looks like they're in the same space. AI can be extremely tricky where it'll give you, a room, a makeup room, a powder room, but it'll look completely different from shot to shot. So for this person to be changing angles within those locations and still getting consistent imagery is just excellent.
And Santa, do you have a lot of experience with artificial intelligence? I'm really curious.
I have a lot of free time on my hands between the months of January and kind of towards the end of November. I'm really not doing much. I'm just eating. I'm getting fat. I'm playing around on my computer. So this past 2 years, it's been hard not to get involved in AI because it's just, it's something to do. And my Xbox Live subscription ran out.
Yeah, this film is so good. Specifically, the way I feel like character development is really important. And again, like Sheila was saying, like you kind of are introduced to this character and you're thinking you're going to get some vibrant like show, and then you just slowly, like just the way they went from like the phone calls, like obviously there's something going on there, to then the news article on the wall, and you start to slowly learn more about this person as the film goes on. I think it's just so well made, and it pulls on your heartstrings, and then the kind of redeeming story of the family coming back together at the end feels very quintessential like holiday to me.
Their use of silence, if we're talking like music and sounds, but sometimes silence is so powerful, and I think this really conveys in this film how they use it and like can add such a depth even though with nothing, and I just think they did it so well.
So that brings us to our next film, which is KK Holiday by Kyle Kesterson.
There once was this dude, Nick, who did endure mad cold winters. He lived way, way out there with his homie, Rudy. It all started with them. This is the real, totally real origin of Christmas. One day, Nick was hanging, chopping it up. Looks over, sees Rudy munching on some mushies. A little too much, if you know what I mean. Straight up starts flying, like far out. Mixed sketch, but little Shroomies like, say no more, little toad. Homie starts chowing, but whoa, bro, raw? Es no bueno. hurls up his granola or whatever. Gotta dry 'em, dude. Hangs 'em up on the trees, stuffs some socks to dry 'em over the fire. Get this, Rudy filters it fresh for his holding Nick. Cookies doth make the brew go down a bit easier. Down the hatch, and away he goes. Rudy goes all full Technicolor, pretty bagging at first. But Lil Alice keeps falling, starts wagging, everything starts melting and blasts into the future, bro, like for reals. Bad vibes, man. But damage was done. The end.
Again with the prompts. Kyle, I need to see these prompts.
I love the voiceover. I really feel like that really helped push it over the top.
That, to me, does not sound like an 11 Labs model. I believe that
No.
NorCal Stoner is definitely not one of their presets. Yeah, the voice was really great.
They said they used 11 Labs, but they have to be doing voice to voice. There's no way they just typed in the text.
This is another one where I really thought the style consistency was great, to that point where this is one where it actually really works to their benefit, where you manage to get some style consistency in that front end, and then once the shrimming section begins, you can get super nuts with it.
Yeah, I love how Santa's trip is just our reality. It's very funny.
I was gonna say I really like the style of like the more animation, cartoony. It's very cutesy, but still with that sort of humoristic story to it.
I found it so interesting. Like in the beginning, it was like really cartoony and trippy, and then like towards the end, it became more realistic, which is like what is happening right now. So you don't really know like where you are, which world you're in, except for like the consistent music that you hear in the background. Like, oh, so I'm still in like that train of thought.
I'd be curious if Kyle, used Chat GPT to help with the script, or if this was his own story. And again, I also really appreciated the prompts, especially in the beginning. It felt very like classic, the Rudolph animation, the classic holiday film. Like it kind of reminded me of that, just the claymation. So it was very fun and nostalgic.
I think it was really cool how intentional he was with showing how the Christmas traditions were started through drying out shrooms on trees and in stockings. That was very clever.
Apparently, Kyle actually did use ChatGPT, at least to write the core script for that one. So he used just about every AI tool available to him. All right. So our next film is called Mistletoes by Kurt Knight.
Excelsis Deo Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo,
Gloria.
in excelsis Deo.
I think Santa liked that one.
Now, this was one of my favorites because Santa likes cats.
I really like this one. It's so simple yet so just very like cute, funny, well made, and like easy to get this little aha moment, which is always good in films. And
I can confirm from experience. I used to work at a cat shelter in Sweden when I was learning the language. Around Christmas time, totally same scenario. Been like serenaded by a gang of cats.
That's amazing.
No, but I thought it was like very charming. And then I was like, how did they get all those cats to sing together? It's like blows my mind.
That is interesting. I would love to see like a breakdown of this.
I think they did a really good job with visual storytelling. They didn't have to say a lot or anything at all to let us know what was going on. The opening shots of the cats digging through the trash was really nice. It made me feel something, and that's good. I want to feel that warm Christmas happiness, and I think this one's done the best job for me so far.
Yeah, I would say the sound design was really pretty stellar on this one. In particular, I really wanted to shout out as the cats are outside and the carolers are inside, and we flop shots, the attention to detail in terms of hearing the outside world, in the outside world, and the carolers being warmer and closer. That was really nice. I also, the one shot that really blows me away is that opening shot of the woman opening the door. That really took me aback for a second, because for a split second I was like, is that live action? Like, that really, really looks great.
The way the story unfolds, I think it kind of like dragged holidays a little bit. Like, you're kind of slowly learning more about this cat and its goal, right? And I think it's starting out with like sharing its food with this other cat. And then it's seeing the chicken through the window. Like, it's like it's slowly, you're learning its objective, and you're watching it learn about the world and about its goals. And I just think it was really well done, and it was fun to witness the development of this cat's story.
I worried that it was going to be a sad story for a minute. I thought it was going to be a sad story where the cats didn't get in, because there's some room for some sad Christmas stories. But thankfully the cats got in and everybody had a good time.
Yeah, I really like how that story was a well-rounded story. Sometimes AI films can be more concepts for films as opposed to actual stories, with character development and resolution. And so I think they did a really great job in making a very simple story very compelling. So our next film is Phantom Christmas by Misha, and I hope I'm pronouncing this correctly, Penievskyi. All right, so let's get started.
Коли ви почуєте мою історію, ви навряд чи мені повірите. Та я переконана, у різдвяну ніч я бачила привид свого сина. І це назавжди змінило моє життя.
З приходом холодів військові на фронті все більше потребують окопні свічки. Місцеві волонтери виробляють їх з консервних пляшанок, картону та воску. Окопні свічки допомагають не лише зігрітись захисникам на позиціях, де вогнище розводити небезпечно, але й приготувати їжу, чай, каву. Доєднатися до важливої справи можуть всі охочі.
Хто б сумнівався?
Увага! Повітряна тривога оголошена по всій країні. Перейдіть до укриття. Не нехтуйте власною безпекою.
І кого вони хочуть налякати? А, хто ти такий? Мене просто марить. Я закрию очі, і він зникне. 1, 2, 3. Та й файно. Який нахабний привид. Ну що ж, лишайся як хочеш, та мені треба працювати.
Зараз тривога. Хіба не варто піти в укриття?
Ого, ти ще й розмовляєш? Я давно не ходжу в укриття. Нема часу.
Ти забагато працюєш.
А ти забагато потякаєш, особливо як на привида.
Кажуть, в Різдво працювати гріх.
Правда? Хто каже?
Моя мама так казала.
Яка в тебе розумна мама. Я теж так вчила свого сина. І він був такий самий впертий, як і ти. Сперечатись із моїм сином завжди було марно, навіть коли він привид. Тож тієї ночі я пішла до укриття, де познайомилась із чудовими людьми, в теплі яких зустріла Різдво. Та з ким би ми не проводили час, де б ми не блукали думками, в серці ми завжди тримаємо тих, хто для нас найдорожчий. Бо понад усе на світі прагнемо відчувати, що вони поруч.
Yeah, that was amazing. And just so you guys know, Misha, who put that together, actually is from Ukraine and is going through a lot of that stuff right now. So a very personal story for Misha. And I think she knocked it out of the park.
You can very much feel like the person behind the making of this film. Like you can tell it's, I mean, it literally oozes, you know, history and experience and everything. I also love a saucy grandma. Like, who doesn't love that? Like, she's got some attitude. Do love that.
I think, yeah, this is just such a beautiful, like, well-made story. If this was, I feel like if this was a book, I would love to read more. Like, I would want to know more about the story and the background and more details. And I just think the sound design on this one is amazing. So many little details of, like, the boiling pot and the little radio blips and planes and just everything. I think it's just very well made.
It definitely left that like lump in your throat, and like, you know, that definitely like brought a lot of emotion witnessing this story. And like Tim was saying, like felt like there's a realness to this story, and you can feel that, which is amazing that this is AI, right? Like, but we're feeling that and like empathizing with this story.
Yeah, and apparently Misha's wife also played the mother. So that was like a live action voice voiceover that they put behind that. And I think that it really, you could tell, pushed it over the top as opposed to just using a straight up AI generated voice.
I thought this one did a great job with atmosphere. This was, I think, the most atmospheric one we've seen yet. The room, poorly lit, candles, you see the city on fire. They did a very good job creating something that is bleak, but at the same time, it's still somewhat Christmassy. It's hard to pull off, but they did a great job. And I like the fact that for the ghost, they just used a sheet with little eye holes cut out.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that Ghost Story movie, which was great.
All right, guys. So our next film is Santa Black by David Clark, who I've seen popping up a lot in competitions. He has won a competition recently for Pika Labs, and I believe he placed in one of our previous competitions as well.
Growing up in the streets with the name Santa ain't been no picnic, let me tell you.
He's a black man with the name Santa Black.
All the kids laughing, calling me names like Chris Kringle and Saint Negro. And don't even get me started on the reindeer jokes.
You look dumb, you look like Rudolph.
But I got the last laugh on all those jive turkeys. While they wasting time writing letters to some made-up fat man at the North Pole, I'm out here training to be the baddest Santa of them all. Even the pimps love me.
Hey, Santa, the pimps love you.
When I strap on that fuzzy red suit, ain't nobody decking halls or riding sleighs harder than yours truly. Santa Black is the truth.
Is the truth.
My 9-degree black belt in Taekwondo will keep peace in the streets. And it's a good thing, too, after the phone call that changed everything one Christmas Eve night. Ring, ring. Who's disturbing my dinner? I'm just trying to eat my collard greens in peace. Hello, who this?
I'm the biggest pimp in the game.
Lemonade.
Santa Black, there been a disruption. This creature sneaking through the chimneys in the hood and been snatching up all the presents like they stocking stuffers. Mother's crying, children upset.
We need you, Santa.
It ain't right, baby. Hit it 2 times.
You gotta be kidding me. Not the kids. Oh, hell no, the kid. Oh, hell no, the black kids need their Jordans. We've been through too much this year. The injustices, the corona, the plague, injustice. I won't let them harm the women and children. I won't let them harm the women and children. So now Santa Black gotta grab the candy cane nunchucks, jingle bell grenades, and my main squeeze, Mrs. Claus.
Mrs. Santa Claus.
And slay down to the hood faster than Rudolph with a Yuletide ass whooping on those Lovecraftian ass looking monsters. You dig?
Santa Black, you gotta save the ghettos. We just trying to enjoy Christmas. These monsters is ruining everything.
Ain't no tentacle freaks gobbling up the ghetto's gifts on my watch. Once I unload all the presents from the trunk of my Cadillac Eldorado, it'll be nothing but close encounters of the ass-kicking kind. You dig? I'm gonna beat those aliens like a tambourine until they holler Merry Christmas. Ha ha and a ho ho ho. Ain't no grinchy creature from out of this world gonna ruin Christmas in the hood. Now when Santa Black is around, can you dig it, sucker?
Santa Black out.
Yeah,
I love it. It's a clear homage to the excellent movie, one of Santa's favorites, Black Dynamite, if you all have seen that. Also starring Michael J. White. It's fantastic. And yeah, that was great. It felt very much like that.
The modulations and stuff match so well tonally with the like 70s funk waka chicka soundtrack. I love this. It's so good. I'm a big fan of like old blaxploitation films like Dolomite, The Human Tornado, Shaft, on and on it goes. And sort of like that second tier or second coming of it, the alien invasion at the end is like between those two things and Michael J. White. Like, I want to see this movie. Like, I legitimately want to see this movie.
I thought it was also such a good, like, I love the 70s vibe, the little like Quentin Tarantino vibes, and just like really well made and like so many little Easter eggs throughout. And I think we said this earlier, but the sound design on this one is also great, with a lot of little details, and just I love the little 70s vibes going on throughout.
Yeah, the sound design was great. I would love to hear from Dave to see if he did 11 labs for this, if it was like voice to voice, if it was his own voice. Yeah, because it feels like there was a lot of personality in all of the voices. Yeah. So I'd be curious how they went about that. But yeah, and then the visuals, just it was fun. Like the added texture, you can tell like he has experience with VFX. It's just like it's layered and consistent, and just really well done.
No, very cheeky as well. So my favorite part, I think, like as you said, like the sound design was amazing, but like he could have used like a phone to ring, right? But he just like said ring ring or something. It was like so cheeky. It was like very intentional as well with the sound and the design. It was like chef's kiss.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I do love that entire era of blaxploitation. The original first round of it, like Dolomite and Shaft, and then sort of this second tier that's coming around with it, with like Black Dynamite, and then actually they kind of reminded me a bit of They Clone Tyrone too. I don't know if you guys have seen that on Netflix, but that was pretty fantastic as well. I love the aspect of it. You could have just gone with the straight like Santa blaxploitation part of it, but bringing an alien invasion into it was also like, that's really nice. That's like, we just ramped up a level. This is something that I hope that Michael Jai White sees at some point or another and begins pitching, because next holiday season, I want to see this.
All right, guys. Well, that leaves us with 2 more films. Our next one is Santa's Break by Antonio Carlos Moraes.
Another Christmas passes by, and with each snowflake, I feel a part of me freezing along. But then comes a chance to thaw out, an invitation to the warmth that break the ice of routine.
Escape to Rio this winter. Sun, samba, and surf await. Hurry up and book your flight now. Your Brazilian paradise awaits.
Rio de Janeiro. Could it be there? Do rather my cold won't clash with the blue of the sea? Farewells are chilly, but the promise of samba warms the heart. Finally the sun, and what a sun! Vibrant and warm and just like the Brazilian spirit. This is what I needed. From now on, the only ice I want to hear about is the ice inside my cocktails. What the Some stories have no end. Or at least, not the end we expect.
I love Santa's thick Brazilian accent. It's great.
It's wonderful. It gives me some ideas, honestly.
Yeah, it sounds like a break you could use there, Santa.
Yeah. Normally I just go to Myrtle Beach, but Rio de Janeiro sounds pretty nice.
No, I thought it was also a fun story. Can be relatable, I think. I mean, everyone needs a break, especially Santa in these tough, hectic times. And also, yeah, it was a good the mix between the very like wintry and the very summery, and with both the colors there and the sounds, I thought were portrayed very well.
Love the music in it. I thought the music choice was really nice. The sort of like samba-ish feel. And yeah, I mean, like you were saying earlier, I like the voice was great too. That's another one where I'm like, I don't know anymore if like was that 11 Labs or was that a read? I don't know anymore. It's kind of getting that good. So
it definitely was, I think, voice to voice again. So I think that so they said they used 11 Labs for this project, but I don't think they were intentionally typing in the voice to have kind of some inflectuations that made it Brazilian. So it feels like perhaps they modulated their own voice, which is amazing, by the way, because that was a really good voiceover.
It's interesting too that it's not necessarily like a good ending. He's like there, he's on this ideal vacation, and then it's like, oh, the rain always comes. It's almost like an honest story of like you can escape the hard things, but even in like, I don't know, even in like your vacation and finding relaxation, there's things that are going to meet you that are hard and challenging.
It's true, but he stayed on the beach, though. That's what matters, baby. He stayed on the beach. It doesn't matter if it's raining. Sometimes you just got to tough it out and enjoy what you got.
Awesome, guys. Well, that brings us to our final film, 'Twas the Mice Before Christmas. Let's check it out.
cute.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even except for a mouse. He signaled to others with a glimmer in his eye. Come out, there's no one nearby. A song to begin, they sing with great care. These tiny intruders bring joy in the air. Excited and lively at the end of the day, they acted out stories in their own playful way.
Welcome to the party, pal.
They roasted marshmallows on the end of a stick. Scoot back, little mouse, and do it right quick. With goggles so small, clever plans they devised, electrifying cookies to everyone's surprise. Dancing alone, 2 mice caught in love's light, whirling and twirling, a beautiful sight. Then music burst forth, a joyful, sweet sound, as mice with instruments gathered around. They laughed, they cried, they had so much fun. Haven healing moment, tween fathers and sons. But as night wore on, their energy waned. They dozed off among ribbons, with dreams unexplained. I watched in wonder at the adventure I'd seen. A night like no other and hardly pristine. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
Oh, I love this one. It's so cute. The felt animals are so sweet. I just need one of those, like, in my house. The sound design on this, y'all, so good. Just like the layered. I feel like every time I watch it, I hear new things. And just like each scene has its own, experience happening. I just can't imagine, like, if you remove all of that, it just would dramatically change the film. So I think they did an incredible job.
This one was very warm. It was very warm and it was very cozy.
Yeah, I agree. It felt like a children's book that had been turned into a film, which was really sweet.
Felt like really whimsical, like very charming. And then like the light behind the mice and made their fur like look so soft. It felt like it just like touched on a lot of really good things storytelling wise as well. The meter and like the rhyme was like very reminiscent of like the Christmas stories that you hear as a kid. The sound design was also really well done, I think. It's overall really adorable.
It was so cute. As I said as well, like the nostalgia is something I always look for, and this had really that is something it had been like a book you've read as a kid or a little movie. And yeah, I love the felt animals, and I think, as we said, the sound design on this one was great. As we said, it changed with all the scenes, which was so cool. And yeah, I thought it was just a very sweet little. I love the bringing in of the poem, the classic poem, but like twisting it, which is just very clever.
And apparently this film was actually a collaboration with some coworkers. In their free time at night, they would collaborate on this film. And
wait, that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, the inverse of the mouse, Twas the night and the mouse is really great. Echoing what I think everybody said, it was really cute. The sound design was really nice. I really liked within that the buttons on the jokes. A lot of times you would have like a visual, and then in the background you would have like a character voice or something that's just like a little cherry on top of the gag. And like just the two that I wrote down that I really actually liked a lot too were I love the Die Hard gag. That was great. And there's one that just it goes by pretty quickly. It's the father and the son thing, but the son mouse is like an emo kid. It's like a emo mouse. I love that's hilarious. All the little visual gags were great through it. So
I am probably the only person ever who's never seen Die Hard, so I don't know the reference. But
you should fix that very soon.
I know.
Is that why whenever we drive by the Fox movie every time and I'm like, oh my God, it's that building, you're always like, huh?
I don't know. Yeah, I have no context.
Wow. You're really kind, because you're always like, yeah, cool, but it's just like a normal building.
I support you. I love that you're happy.
That's so funny.
I'm happy you're happy.
Okay, now comes the fun part. It's time to decide on a winner. This competition will happen in 3 rounds. First, the judges will pick a 3rd place winner. Each third place winner will receive 1 point for each judge's vote. The second round will be our judge's second place winner, and each one of those selections will receive 2 points each. And finally, our first place round will give 3 points to each film that is selected as a favorite from each judge. Santa will also select his favorite film, and it will receive a very special prize. We'll start with, let's say, Shelby. What was your third place winner and why?
So my third place winner, this was very challenging because I feel like for each, I was rewatching and just really trying to figure out like who this was hard. There are so many incredible films. But I chose Phantom Christmas. Again, I think it just pulled on the heartstrings. It was an honest story. It was a bit spooky, which was interesting, but also like the way it turned around. It was like, oh, this is her son meeting her at Christmas and then her going into the bomb shelter with this community of people having dinner together. Just that whole story was really well done. And
Yeah, for my third place, I chose Mistletoe. It was something about it that's like, it's quite a simple story, but it's something that's still so warm and just with all the little details and the sound design on that one, it hit home for me, and it's something about it that's just made me very warm and cozy inside, which I feel like a Christmas movie should do.
Same as Josephine, actually, Mistletoes. There was something about the Dickensian spirit of cats and like the caroling of cats, which like really tugged at my heartstrings.
So my third place is KK Christmas. I just love not only just the voice and sort of the fun of it all, but I do like the fact that it's got that little bit of an edge to it too, where it just kind of pokes at you and goes like, remember, like it sucks too. So, I just love that it has some teeth to it.
So my third place winner was Mistletoes as well. I feel like it had a really cohesive, well-rounded story, great sound design. There's actually a shot where the carolers go from like caroling in front of the door and they like walk inside. So there's like 5 subjects all moving towards the door, and it like does a pretty good job at conveying that, which is like very complex for AI, which is really cool. And then the custom cat song, that took quite a bit of work, and I thought was really sweet. So that's my third place winner. So what about you, Santa?
At the end of the day, I had to go with the top 3 that Santa likes the best, and I loved Santa Black. I thought that was great. It was a very interesting portrayal of me. I appreciated it. And so that's my third place, is Santa Black. It looked great. It was very funny. It was an entertaining watch all the way through. And Santa approves. It's got karate. It's got action. Perfect.
So after the first round, we have Phantom Christmas in fourth place with 1 point, Santa Black with 1 point, KK Holiday with 1 point. And in first place, we have Mistletoes with 3 points. So Cat's taking early lead. So that brings us to our second place round. So judges, what was your second place pick?
So my second place was Mistletoes, specifically because it felt just like a quintessential holiday film to me. And I think, again, I was really impressed with the development of the story, with the cat sharing the food and then this other cat saying like, I see your mission and I'm going to help you by singing this song together. I think it was like really incredible the way they curated their shots to tell this story. And then again, watching it like unfold into this like really beautiful ending for everyone.
My second choice, it was also very hard to choose. I chose AI Christmas. And I just thought that one was so interesting because I love the rhyming of the voiceover that puts it in like a pace, but then it's so many different visuals that like change it up. And then with the actual story of like the humans and robots and how like they sort of help each other even when in the future where humans don't exist.
My second choice was Twas the Mice Before Christmas. I think it was like the nostalgia and the whimsy of it all. It was like very Christmassy, like very in the spirit of like it doesn't matter how you celebrate Christmas, even if you're like a goth and emo mouse or whatever. It's like the scale of it doesn't matter as long as you celebrate it with family. So story-wise, it was really cohesive and very touching. So that's what pushed it to second for me.
So my second place is Santa Black, because it was just so much fun. Again, that's one of the ones. Just watching it, it made me laugh at numerous points. It made me head bob because it had the good music going on. I do love just those little auto tune moments in there. And then ultimately, like I want to see this movie. I literally want to turn on Netflix next year and watch this movie.
For my second place, I chose Phantom Christmas. I feel like the story was really incredible. I feel like it was a really good modern take on a Christmas story. Definitely feels like it could be a real film as well. And I love that it had a personal connection to the people who put it together. So yeah, really, really compelling, emotive film, and really enjoyed it. What about you, Santa?
So for me, I had to go with Mistletoes. It was just too cute. I loved all the cats. I thought it was a really sweet story. It did a very good job of engaging me because I did not know if it was going to have a good ending or not. And I think that's really important when it comes to storytelling.
Well, that concludes round number 2 then. So we have 6 films on the board now. So in 4th place, we have KK Holiday with 1 point. In 3rd place, we have a tie between AI Christmas with 2 points and Twas the Mice Before Christmas with 2 points. And in 2nd place, we have Santa Black with 3 points and Phantom Christmas with 3 points. And currently in 1st place, we have Mistletoes with 7 points.
Wow.
So that brings us to our final round. And I should note that in this final round, we also have a special category for Santa's favorite. So whichever film Santa likes the most at the end will get a bonus prize. And that does not mean that they won the whole competition. So we'll judge, we'll add up all the points to figure out who actually won 1st place in the competition at the end of this round. So let's kick things over to Shelby. What was your favorite film?
My favorite, again, this was so hard, and everyone, amazing job who submitted. But my personal favorite was Dragged Holidays. That story was incredible. I think it was, it felt very like a personal story. It feels like a story I want to witness and see become like a film. And I think even the changing of animation throughout the film, the way it kind of broke down from this like colorful scenery to like breaking down into almost like very simple black and white animation. It just looked really good and told the story well. And then just that redemptive story at the end of coming home to your family and like there being this embrace was just very quintessential holiday.
My first choice was Phantom Christmas. That was just something that really, it had so many layers with the ghost and the sun, and then the warmth and like hope of the holidays and like sense of community, and just so many little details with the sound design in that one, and also with it being like a reality for a lot of people around the world, which gives it like this extra just emotion to it.
1st place for me goes to AI Christmas. There's just like something really captivating about AI and robots trying to filter something that's human through data and analyzing things. And then in the end, like they kind of had a human kind of Christmas, which I think was really interesting.
So my personal, if I have to pick one, it is Drag Holiday. The fact that it has such great emotional narrative arc to it, that takes you on this character's journey and kind of lifts you up at the very end. Chef's kiss on that. Also just like little tiny things all the way through it, both on the technical side, like little things like that phone shot with the Pope, and that's all, that's clearly comped in. The brothers, the news clipping, that's clearly comped in. It's like little things like that really, really elevated up.
That's great. Yeah, I am going to have to echo Tim and pick Dragged Holiday for my number 1 winner as well. I I really feel like every aspect of the film was very compelling, from the title design at the very beginning. The sound design was fantastic. They really showed multiple examples of high-level storytelling, and they didn't take the easy road. They had a few creative decisions that were very challenging. And finally, that leaves us with Santa to pick his favorite.
My favorite was Santa's Break. I loved it. It was festive. It was fun. You got some good holiday moments in the beginning. And then after that, it took an unexpected direction, and we went to Rio de Janeiro, and I thought that was great.
Amazing. Well, congrats, Antonio, for winning Santa's favorite. So I'm going to kick things off by just sharing a few honorable mentions. The first is Holy High Res by Joe Atta. Basically, it's about a woman who goes to Hollywood and then finds the true meaning of Christmas at the end. We had Robot Santa by David Clark. Dave also had another film that placed in this competition. So 2 films that kind of made it in our top 10, which is really cool. And then the last honorable mention is Santa's Trip by Oder Faleko, which was really fun as well. All right. So let's talk about who won this competition. So luckily we did not have a tie this time. That was very tricky to navigate last time. But we'll start with 7th place. In 7th place is KK Holiday with 1 point. In 6th place, we have Twas the Mice Before Christmas. In 5th place, we have a tie between Santa Black and Santa's Break. So great job. In 4th place, we have AI Christmas with 5 points. And now that brings us to our 3rd place winner. In 3rd place, we have Phantom Christmas by Misha Penievskyi. Misha, you have won $1,000 USD, an 8-month subscription to Epidemic Sound, free enrollment in our AI filmmaking course. You'll have a shout out on our social media platforms, and we will send you a tacky Christmas sweater from Curious Refuge. So fantastic job, Misha.
Congrats. Great job.
And in 2nd place, we have Mistletoes by Kurt Knight. This was a collaborative project between Kurt and a few other people. Kurt, you have won $1,500 USD, 10 months of free subscription to Epidemic Sound, free enrollment in our AI filmmaking course, shout out on the social platforms, and a tacky holiday sweater from Curious Refuge. Congratulations, Kurt. So that brings us to our 1st place winner. And in 1st place, we have Dragged Holiday by Try Artistry Films. That is a collaboration between Beto Padreca, Paula Fernandes, and Rafael Arinelli. And you guys have won $5,000 USD, a 12-month subscription to Epidemic Sound, free enrollment in our AI filmmaking course, shout out on our social platforms, and a custom tacky holiday sweater from Curious Refuge. Fantastic job, guys.
Great job. That's amazing.
Okay, thank you so much for watching. Again, we'd like to thank Epidemic Sound for sponsoring this competition, and I'd like to extend a huge congratulations to everyone who submitted a film for this competition. You can watch these amazing films by clicking the link below this video, and of course, you can get a free trial to Epidemic Sound by clicking the link as well. Thank you so much to everyone who participated in this competition. We'll do even more in the future, so be on the lookout. Have a happy holiday season, and we'll see you next time.